Welcome in to the Not Move podcast, the scrap sheet. It's your boy Jimmy with my man Zip Zap.
What's happening, man?
What's going on? What's going on? And today we're gonna be breaking down UFC Vegas 118, Muhammed versus Bonfim. This whole card is the old guard versus the new guard, just in the contendership spots. These are names you might know, names you should get familiar with, but a lot of good fights on this card. A lot of good fights last week in China. Going over that real quick. Um, the Chinese fighters went 1-5 on their own home soil. Song Yadong being the
Yeah,
only guy to get the win for his
I
country.
gotta tell you, I gotta tell you, Jimmy, I found that rather surprising. I thought a few of those fights would be layups, but wow, they really got taken to town on that fight, on that fight
Yeah,
card.
we'll run down the main card real quick. Song Yadong with the submission win over Figueiredo. That was surprising. I didn't think Figgy would get submitted, but Song still like I knew Song would win. I just didn't think it would be by submission that early. Um, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a shame to say, but Figueroa looks like it's over. Um, I'm sure he's probably going to do, I think we might have even discussed it. Maybe the UFC will give him a one more fight as a going away in Brazil for him. But you can look at him in this fight. It's just not there anymore. At the
Yeah,
top level, it's just not there.
he still seems like he can still fight, is what he says, but I just don't see it. I don't know. And then the fraud check happened. Zhang Man Yang got smoked by Alonzo Minifield. He was just throwing those little short elbows, and Alonzo Minifield was just walking through him. And as soon as like he had a little bit of adversity, man, folded like a freaking wet towel, man. And Minifield stunned, took the breath out of the crowd there in Macau.
Minifield with a really good job of showing what he's capable of. Apparently the game plan against Minifield is really simple: survive the first round.
Yeah.
That is he hasn't won any fight past the first round, and he just absolutely comes out staunching people in the first round. Avoid that man in the first round. Take your chances afterward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then we had Sergey Pavlovich doing his thing, still rolling, still rocking, uh, maintaining that he's that upper echelon of heavyweight. Like I said, Talashin Teixeira's he's still young in the game, but Sergey's at this different level. Um, and then there was the Sumo Derji coming on in the second round. He dropped him, and then it was the nut shot from it was out of town, man. It looked like the Cody Garbrandt situation all over again, but he was puking in the ring. It wasn't nice. I was a little bit disappointed because I thought Suma could have won with a win on that fight, could have be fighting in the top 15 soon, but with a no contest, man, it I don't know where they'll see him. I know he got a little flack for the eye poke and then the nut shot. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but I still think Suma is a problem in that division. But what was your thoughts on that situation?
Maybe there's a chance they run it back. Who knows? I do want to comment real quick on a Pavlovich versus Teixeira fight. First of all, like you said, there's levels to fighting, and we saw that Pavlovich is just levels above Teixeira, who literally stood no chance in this fight. Um, Sergey asking for the title fight
Hmm.
afterward, tired of waiting, saying that, you know what, it's his time. His time is now. And he might have a case to be the next in line. So good on Sergey. He's coming off an excellent performance. The man has fought whoever they put in front of him. And he's done it fearlessly. So maybe it's time to reward a guy like that and actually give him a title shot opportunity soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, there's some UFC news that's going on, but my man, he's got a tight schedule, so we gonna come back to the UFC news. We're gonna go crazy next week for the White House card. I'm sure we're gonna have some shenanigans, so we'll
I
go
believe that.
full shenanigans next week. But let's get into this UFC Vegas card right here, right now, with the uh opening fight. The ladies going after it, a rematch of Caitlin Souza versus Ariana I can't say her name. What is this? Hold on. It's not even one of the harder ones. Carnelosi. Yep, Carnelosi. Sorry, people. Uh, Carnelosi when she first came in the scene. she looked like a problem, but she just hasn't evolved her game. While on the opposite side, I think Caitlin Souza, when she first came in, um, has steadily gotten better over the years and has developed into a really well-rounded fighter. Um, like I said, this is a rematch. They fought before. Carnelossi was able to win in the first fight, but I think the more developed fighter is Souza. Souza has shown that she's grown up in the MMA world. Like she's developed a lot better than Carnelossi has. So I'm gonna go with the side of Souza. She's a 3-1 favorite, which I don't know if I would agree to that, but I do think she wins by decision.
Yeah, I think the UFC is doing a favor here by something just tells me behind the scenes. She says, "Hey, I need to avenge a loss that I had," and specifically asked for this fight. And I'm gonna agree with you and say that she gets it.
All right, all right. We're moving steady along, steady along. Next up, we got Jaela Chavez versus Unisley Dubin. Chavez, formerly a ring girl turned MMA fighter. Fun story there.
Yes.
7-0. Hasn't really fought nobody. Controversial win over Montenegro in her last fight in the Contender Series. Um, and then Dubin on her last fight got smoked by a high kick by Carly Judice. She has this like Bobby Green thing where she keeps her hands, but she doesn't really defend very well. But she has some power. She has not gone the distance before. That does give me some pause here, but I just don't think Chavez has fought. Neither one of these girls have fought high level competition. Judice on the Dubin side is probably the most credited person out of either one of these two's resume, but I see holes in Chavez's game where she leaves her hands down where the right hook could come through from where, because that's all Dubin has is that little right hook thing that she throws, and Chavez is wide open for that. Now on the other side, like I said, Dubin has not, it's all been within the first two rounds for her. She's never gone the distance. Don't know what her gas tank looks like, and I just don't know Chavez's like wrestling game as well. But Chavez is a 3-1 favorite. She's a more leveled striker, layered striker, but doesn't have enough power or as much power as Dubin has. I'm gonna go with the side of the underdog in Dubin, but wouldn't be surprised if this is a Chavez spot. But you never know.
All right, I actually am going to take Chavez on this fight, just on the strength of resume alone and potential. Now, I do want to point out one thing that completely, please don't take this the wrong way. This is going to be a little off guard, but it is rare in UFC or MMA that you get a couple of cuties going at it. And if there was ever a chance that if you wanted to see it, this would be the fight. These are two really cute women that are going to be throwing down. So I assure you, it'll be worth a watch. But yeah, I'm going with y'all.
Oh man, Zip giving them extracurricular reasons why to watch this fight. I like.
For
That's
sure.
funny. Next up on the card, we got Jordan Levitt, the grappling ace, versus Joe Anderson Brito. And this fight could go two ways. Either Jordan Levitt is a great grappler; he can hold you in spots and just kind of grind out a win. But he has no consequence with his hands, like none at all. Joe Anderson Brito, on the other hand, he throws power. He has some power behind his punches, and he's not a fish on the ground, as I like to say. He has a competent ground game, good jujitsu. I could see Joe Anderson just getting him out of there just because he could hurt Levitt on the feet, then force Levitt to shoot on him, and then it's just wraps from there. He gets a submission. I think that's how it goes. I'm on the side of Brito for sure. He's a slight favorite, like minus 140, 150 range. I think it should be a little bit wider. I think Brito gets it done within inside the distance.
The thing that worries me about this fight is if Levitt gets this to the ground and then we spend the next 5 minutes of him doing nothing on top
Just
for
holding.
3 rounds straight.
Mhm.
Just sitting there and here's the thing, unfortunately, that is a recipe for success in the UFC at times. That some referees are quick to let you know, give you the warning. Other referees will let you grind it out from that position.
Mhm.
I think there's a serious possibility that Levitt gets top control or at least gets side control and does just enough so that it can't be stood up.
I hear you.
I'm going to hope against that and say that maybe he can get clocked a time or two so it doesn't come to that. So I'm going to say he loses. But is the possibility that Levitt can grind out a really boring win? It's a very real possibility. I'm just going to say it doesn't happen now.
I hear you. I hear you. Next up on the card, we got another ladies fight coming at you. Priscilla Cachoeira versus Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea Chandler out of that Stockton gym. Nate Diaz doing his thing. Chris Averill as well. Both of them losers on the MVP card, and I think another loser comes out in this gym. I just don't see it. She's 6-4. She's a part-time UFC part-time fighter. I don't know what she's doing. Just not really impressed with her game. While Priscilla Cachoeira throws heaters, man. She's been in 3 fights in the past year and a half. On while Chelsea Chandler in the past year has only been in one. I think Priscilla wants this more. I think she wants to be a fighter more. I'm going with the dog. I'm going with the power puncher and Priscilla here to you know scare off the part timer.
Yes, Priscilla's going to win this one just based on pure aggression alone. Could she be countered and put? Yeah, possibly, but I just like the fact that I think she's going to be completely aggressive with this fight. Another thing I want to mention, I heard you say Nate Diaz, and it made me think I have to get confirmation on this, but I heard something that Nick Diaz may have passed.
I am unaware. I will have to look into that.
I,
I
I
hope
heard
not.
something. It was just a couple of hours ago. I heard something that about now. I don't know if that's an official word, but something about Nick Diaz passing. And if it's true, I just want to say that that was one of the men who I really enjoyed watching him fight, whether it was in UFC or out of UFC, whether it was Strikeforce, Elite XC. The man was an absolute legend. For those of y'all who know Nate Diaz, he's Nick Diaz's older brother, and if you liked Nate, you would have loved Nick because everything that Nate is, Nick is times two. So if it's true, I hope it's not, but if it's true, all I can say is thank you, Nick. You truly were a legend.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. I don't know if that's true or not. But if it is, RIP a goat. That's still the Joe Rogan intro, you know.
Facts.
But next up on the card, we got Bruno Silva versus Edgar Shirez. 36-year-old Bruno Silva versus 30-year-old Shirez. Shirez in his last fight was he beat Felipe Bunez in a split decision. It was a close fight. He was at he was from the Fight Ready camp. Um, Bruno Silva also trains the Fight Ready, but he's also with the Pitbull Brothers. I think Bruno Silva is a better version of Felipe Bunez. Uh, Bruno Silva in his last fight was able to, uh, you know, keep in there with Charles Johnson, one of the best in this weight class. Um, you know, Bruno Silva's always been the shorter guy. Edgar Shirez here, 5'7" to 5'4" for Bruno. Bruno has a 3-inch height disadvantage and a 7-inch arm disadvantage, but he never really lets it bother him too much. Um, and I don't think Bruno is a better striker to me, as well as he's better on the ground. And Shirez really doesn't use his reach advantage very well. He likes to strike in the yellow and the red, the closer to him, rather than using his range to his maximum advantage, which he could do here. He just doesn't very well, and I think Silva can capitalize on that and get the win.
I'm very curious. What is how do the odds makers have this one?
It's close. It's 145 to on. Um, It's one minus 145 for Bruno Silva, like a plus 150, 115, 120 around there for um Shirez.
I'm a
Vegas.
little torn on this. I'm a little
Yeah.
torn on this one because you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go the dog in this fight. The reason I'm gonna go the dog is I something just a gut instinct that he's gonna do a little damage from distance and then try to stall him out when he gets in close. Um, that's kind of how I see this fight going. To be
All
honest,
right.
I'm kind of surprised that the odds aren't a bit closer. So perhaps it may lean your way, but I'm taking a dog in this fight.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not mad at it. I just think the experience of Silva gets him, but. To each their own, man. And that's why we do the show. That's why we're here.
For sure.
Next up, we got the feature prelim: Matt Schnell versus Alexandre Acosta. Matt Schnell retired, came back, beat Jimmy Flick, then got smoked in his last one. I don't know what he's doing. This is not the Matt Schnell of old. Alexandre Acosta took this on late notice. Yes, he fought like a month and about 6 weeks, around a month, 2 months ago. Still relatively fresh. It's a catch weight fight at 130. He doesn't have to cut down all the way to 125. I think Costa gets this wherever he wants it. I think he finishes inside the distance. He's a crazy favorite for a reason. Matt Chanel is just picking up a paycheck at this point in his career.
Yeah, I don't expect this fight to be all that competitive. Maybe a second round stoppage or so. Maybe even a third round. But I expect them to kind of keep the momentum going on this and to stop this fight. I don't think this one's going to see the final bell.
I hear you. No, stick with us, folks, as we go to break down the main card of this UFC Vegas 118 after these messages from our sponsors.
The Not Move podcast is fueled by Dubby Energy. Smooth, jitter-free focus, and flavors that slap. Mango, berry, watermelon. Whatever gets you locked in, they've got it. Hit up Dubby.gg, use promo code NOTMOVED, and snag 10% off your order. Stay not moved, stay energized.
Number Friday nights, 9 Eastern. It's the Dribble, NBA edition on the Not Move podcast. We break down the week, the trades, the highlights, everything around the league. Tap in, chop it up with us, and get the takes that move the game forward. Stay not moved.
The Not Moved podcast drop is here. Snapbacks, hoodies, mugs, stickers, totes, everything you need to rep the convo everywhere you go. Limited run, unlimited style. Tap the link, fill the cart, and
tap into the Not Moved podcast every Friday night at 8 Eastern.
We're bringing the scrap sheet, UFC edition.
Every jab, every takedown, every headline.
All the fights, all the drama, all the picks, right here.
Watch live on YouTube or listen anywhere you get your podcast. Hit follow, hit subscribe.
And stay not moved.
Need some new Not Move drip? The In the Wickets hoodie just dropped. Super soft fleece, heavyweight feel, and the official NMP patch on the sleeve. Tap add to cart, check out, and let us handle the rest. In a couple days, it shows up at your door, ready to rock. Rep the podcast from the couch to the tip.
Every Thursday night, the Not Move podcast drops a new episode of
In the Wickets,
our deep dive on everything around the NHL.
We break down the plays, the trades, the stats, and the stories that matter.
Plus a few hot takes along the way.
Join us live at 8 p.m. Eastern, or catch it on your favorite podcast app right after.
Same energy, same on.
Tuesday nights just got louder. Ringside Rewind is live every week, 9 Eastern.
We're breaking down Raw, SmackDown, and everything leading into the weekend. If it happens between the ropes, we're talking about it.
Deep dives, hot takes, and a few surprise
and
replays.
A whole lot of arguing.
Yeah, but the good kind.
Ringside.
The Orphan Elimination Chamber tee just dropped. Fresh out the box. Look at this.
That print is nasty. Chain link O, silver hit. It's tough.
It's soft too, y'all. Fits right. Little drip for the Elimination Chamber weekend.
We rocking these all season.
If you're part of the Not Move fam, you already know.
Jump on it before it's
gone. Grab yours now at Not Move Shop.
Episode of the Not Move podcast is brought to you by the MLB Shop. They have every team's gear, from classic caps to World Baseball Classic hoodies, all official and all ready for game day. Tap the link in our bio to head straight to the shop and snag your favorite merch.
The drop is here. NMP gear built for every day and game day. Hoodies, mugs, and the Coach Common jersey in bold gold. Rep the movement. Feel the energy. Shop new arrivals.
If you're craving baseball talk that doesn't flinch, tap in with us Monday nights at 8 Eastern.
It's the Rusty Mitt MLB edition of the Not Move podcast. Breakdowns, debates, all the swings and misses without the fake fluff.
Join us live or catch the replay wherever you get your pods. Rusty Mitt, not moved. Stay not moved.
Attention Not Move Nation. Our first ever jersey has landed. The NMP by JB Sport Talk collab brings premium mesh, bold gold accents, and that undeniable game day energy. Plus, hoodie drop.
Today's episode of Not Moved is brought to you by Open Goal, the world's #1 backyard goal. If you love soccer but hate chasing balls into the neighbor's yard, this thing is a game changer. Its rebound net sends missed shots right back to you, and the side nets keep your landscaping and your windows safe. It's perfect for kids, for training, or just having fun.
Today's episode of the Not Move podcast is brought to you by Walmart.com. With our storefront in the Walmart app, you can get everything you need. Pick up or have it delivered.
We ordered dinner while recording and it showed up before we wrapped.
Better Good sweet corn and burrata ravioli.
Nuri protein drinks, even St. Patrick's Day treats.
Walmart.com.
Not Move, fam. Southgate edition just landed and it's fire. Check the tee. Watch out for the skis and the wickets. Hockey stick, cricket wickets, all vibes. We got hoodies, mugs, caps, beanies, whatever you need. Cop yours before they...
At the Not Move podcast, just drop the gear.
Heavyweight hoodies, premium cotton, street ready.
Caps, mugs, and more. Every detail on point.
Whether you're hooping, tailgating, or just repping the pod, NMP fits the culture.
Limited drops. When they're gone, they're gone.
Cop yours today at notmoveshop.fourthwall.com.
And we back. Get your merch. Get your merch. And shout out my man Graham behind the scenes in
For
the In the
sure.
Wickets podcast. Check out that if you love hockey. My pick is the Knights, by the way. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about fights here. And we got Iwo Baranoshki, the light heavyweight phenom who's bursted onto this scene with high volume knockouts, and he's fighting another high volume striker in Junior Tafa here. Someone's getting knocked out. Um, I think Junior Tafa is getting knocked out, but here's the problem. Iwo Baranushki goes in this thing uh, like a freaking rabid dog. He might get caught. Junior Tafa has power, right? Junior Tafa is an elite striker. He brings uh, the hammer down when it comes to his boxing chops. Iwo Baranushki's also been proven to throw it in the fire. Where we could see this go is Iwo could get caught, but the problem is Junior Tafa has one glaring hole in his game, and that is the ground game. He can't freaking wrestle a wet papered bag, man. He can't get himself out of nothing. His ground game is terrible. But the problem is, does Iwo Baranushki, the Polish power man, get obsessed with his hands in this fight? That is the problem.
The answer to that is absolutely yes. He's going to get obsessed with using his hands in his fight because that's what he does. I'm with you on this one. There's a lot of hype in this fight. You're looking at somebody who came into the UFC touted, and you know what? I think this is a good showcase. On every card, there's a showcase fight, and I believe that's what this is. It's also a quality win. I like Iwa in this one, and this may shock you, but I like Iwa by knockout.
Not even by submission.
Let me not say knockout, but by stoppage.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Iwo gets him out of there. People don't realize this. If you look at this man's ears, bro, he's got that judo background, man. He can wrestle. It's just this guy has been obsessed with his hands recently, and that worries me because Tafa has a light switch on the other side, so he could get caught. And Iwo is bound to get caught one of these days. I don't know if it happens here, but it could. I'm with you though. I'm not. I'm riding the hype train. I think Iwo gets it done inside the distance as well.
Yeah.
Next up on the card, we have the controversial man, Bryce Mitchell, versus Santiago Luna. Santiago Luna coming in on short notice, filling in for Victor Henry. Santiago Luna, 21-year-old Mexican prospect, insanely good wrestling background, Greco-Roman style. Really heavy hands too. In his last fight, he couldn't get Angel Pacheco out of there, but that dude's head is a block of cinder. I don't know what else to do, what he could have done more. But Luna has the pure boxing edge, right? Bryce Mitchell has a grappling advantage. It would seem in the jiu-jitsu part of the grappling, but I think Luna's defensive work, his athleticism, being the younger guy, being able to, I think he's more athletic than Bryce. And Bryce's chin has not been tested at this new weight class. We've known Bryce as a featherweight his whole career. Now he's jumping down to bantamweight, and Bryce's chin has been checked a couple times. So I'm gonna go with the dog, Santiago Luna, to get a statement win. I think he knocks Bryce out.
This when I heard that this fight was on the card, it kind of threw me for a loop. Why exactly is Bryce Mitchell at this point in his career dropping down in weight? Was the weight class above you too hard? Were they too strong for you there? It's kind of confusing to me why this jump would happen. Did you find those guys too big? And if so, how much of a drain is this putting on you at this part of your career?
Mm-hmm.
Normally, as we know, people tend to move up. Every now and then they'll come down for a fight, but it sounds like this is going to be a career change for him. So I don't quite get it. So I'm thinking that something just... I think he's finding the guys above him to be just too strong overall. And so he's trying to hope that he can become the bigger guy at a lower weight, if you will. Not knowing that most of these guys rely at this weight class, most of them rely on speed and technique more so than just raw power. So it's a short notice fight that can be very tricky. I really want to go Bryce Mitchell, but I have some concerns. I'm not overly familiar with the gentleman he's fighting. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not overly thinking of his last fight. It just doesn't ring any bell, but I'm probably sure that I saw it. I'm gonna. How much of a what? Give me the odds makers on this one. Bryce Mitchell's probably
Bryce Mitchell
favorite.
is a slight favorite, 120 to, I think Luna's like 105. Luna's a
Okay,
slight
well,
dog.
it's basically a pick 'em. I'm gonna give Bryce Mitchell the win on this one, although I'm not overly confident about doing so. Just because I have a strange feeling about this, a very strange feeling about this.
I hear you. Luna's last fight was against Angel Pacheco, who, like I said, has a cinder block for a head. Both of those guys were just throwing.
Right.
That was crazy. Next up, we got two of the height bullies in the light weight division. Fares Ziam versus Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan, young prospect in the UFC versus a vet at this point. Fares Ziam, 8-2 in the UFC. Has double the UFC experience as Tom Nolan. I think Fares Ziam gets this just based on the experience factor alone. This man, he got that one loss to Terrence McKinney on a sub, but it's Terrence McKinney. He comes out guns blazing. He got caught. Ever since then, this man's been on a 6-fight win streak, just dominating people. He's a slick striker. He's got really good grappling chops as well. I just think this is a levels fight. I think Tom Nolan is a very good prospect, but I think Fares Ziam is Tom Nolan at the same time. Like, Fares Ziam is a slick striker, favors the kicks more than Nolan does. Nolan's more of a striker. Ziam's more of a kickboxer. Nolan's more of a boxer. But I would take Ziam just based on his what he's done so far. He's put up great fights. I thought he would be fighting in the top 15, not fighting a prospect coming up. And I think Tom Nolan's going to be a problem in this division later on in his career. He's definitely a prospect to watch out for. I just think this is too much for him right now.
Do you happen to know what Nolan's record is in the UFC?
4-1, I believe.
I feel like these two are somewhat. I feel
Yeah.
like these two are somewhat mirror images of each other.
6'1" to 6'2". Tom Nolan, the slightly taller, but Ziam has the reach advantage by 2 inches. But if you look at the face-off, they look about the same height to me.
Yeah, this to me is a fight that can probably go either way, realistically. Probably not a dominant performance by either one of these guys, but this is going to be one of those fights where maybe one guy does just enough to pull out the victory. You know what? I'll ride with you on this one. Tom Nolan gets the victory.
I hear you. And I just forgot to mention, I scrolled by it and I just remembered it on the prelims. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna rewind time like one second. Adrian Yanez is fighting Marcus McGee. By the way, Marcus McGee is a 5-1 favorite. He just fought Piotr Yan in his last fight. I don't know how I missed this. I scrolled by it. I'm sorry, but I think people are overlooking Adrian Yanez. Adrian Yanez is a really good slick striker, can strike out of orthodox and southpaw, moves his feet really well. I think Marcus McGee is the better fighter for sure. He's fought the better competition. Like I said, he just lost decision to Piotr Yan and took a round off of him. But I wouldn't overlook Adrian Yanez in this spot. I would look for a Marcus McGee decision, because I don't think Giannis is gonna, he's not gonna go out soft. He's a striker first. I have to, I forgot this fight on this card, and I forgot another one on the last card. So I'm trying to remember. Sometimes these websites don't got all of them, or sometimes I scroll by them. So I gotta get that out there real quick before we get to the co-main.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Marcus McGee in this fight, and I as a matter of fact, the weird thing about this fight is one thing that worries me about McGee is I have seen him slow down.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect him to come out hot in this fight, possibly taking the first couple of rounds. And as long as he doesn't put himself in danger in a third, he may just hold on. But I expect him to come out and do what he does, get in controlling position, and just try to wear him down for the first few rounds. I think it'll be somewhat easy victory as long as he doesn't put himself in danger.
I hear you. I hear you. I think we're on the same page there. All right, we're going back to the main card. We're gonna jump back. My bad. Co-main event: Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. This is I don't know what's going on, man. I thought Brendan Allen would be fighting up. He's fighting down. Edmund Shabazian isn't even ranked. Edmund Shabazian's a really good striker. Cannot grapple with Brendan Allen in the slightest. I think even like Edmund Shabazian's a really good kickboxer, can fight you from range, but in the clinch, Brendan Allen's a better striker, and it's miles better on the ground. So I'm gonna go Brendan Allen, late round submission. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm saying Brendan Allen stops this fight too. He's just too much. He just offers too much. And when this fight was announced, I thought it was kind of an odd pairing, but maybe that means showcase fight for Brendan Allen with a good performance. I mean, the man should be discussed as far as being a top contender worthy. So maybe if a showcase performance will lead to a primetime fight or a contender fight. So yeah,
sure.
I expect him to be on the top of his game for this fight.
All right, in the main event that we've all been waiting for, Bilal, remember the name, Muhammed versus Gabriel Bonfim, the better of the Bonfim bros. This fight, 5-round fight. I've been going back and forth on this before because Bonfim's the better striker and he's got slick jiu-jitsu, but Bilal Muhammad is Bilal Muhammad and he never gasses out. He gets on a bike and he just rides the bike. He like this man has the cardio of Marab Dvalishvili, dude. Like he's Marab at welterweight. Now he doesn't grapple like Marab, and he doesn't put that relentless pressure on you like Marab does. But Bilal just never quits. He never quits on himself. I've never seen him like straight up quit. In the Ian Gary fight in his last one, he took a round off him. It was a UD. It was 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. And I went back and I watched that fight. Bilal was causing Gary some problems a little bit on the feet. Gary just stuffed some takedowns, but Gary also poked him in the eye twice. Bilal's been really unlucky with these eye pokes. That being said, I don't know, man. I don't know. How about you pick your decision for it? Because Bonfim's the better striker and he's got better jiu-jitsu, but you know how Bilal is. You know what Bilal's about. Bilal's got that lethal body kick. And Bonfim has that gas problem, I'm very.
If you were to just look at these guys during the face-off, not knowing who's who, you would say this was going to be a no contest. Dalton absolutely destroys him, and I'm going to tell you that is not going to happen. Bilal Muhammad is one of those guys where when you look at him physically, you can take him for granted. He's not an overly strong looking guy. He's not a powerful looking guy, but the guy knows how to fight. And once he wraps his hands on you, it's problems. It's problems for everybody when he gets in a controlling position. There is nothing good about having a Bilal Muhammad on top of you. That said, the question is, can he get into that position without taking too much damage? I'm going to go based on him facing elite competition, and yes, he can get this done. I don't think it's going to be quick, but I do think he's going to pull this one out. I do like Bilal Muhammad to win this.
I hear you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you too. Like I said, that leg kick he does, the body kick, that thing's quick. It strikes hard. And Bonfim's problem has been the gas tank. Though he is the younger fighter by almost a decade, 28 versus Bilal turns 38 next month. But it's just I'm trusting the more vetted fighter here. I like Bilal in this fight.
And one other thing, really quick. I know Bilal is up there in fighter age, but he hasn't necessarily had the brutal take a punch, give a punch wars as other people have. So he might be older in age, but his body, he's always maintained in great condition.
For sure, for sure. All right. Well, I think that does it here for the scrap sheet. Tune in next week for the UFC Freedom 250 breakdown, where we go to the White House.
Well,
baby.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Jimmy, if I will, I got to say, you are making good time. If you'd like to go ahead and cover some news, let's do that.
Oh, well, no, we can do it next week. It's all right. The news that I want to talk about is that what Bisping said with Paul Felder, and that'll be relevant because we're covering the heavyweight fight next week. Because Bisping had some words for his fellow Brit, Tom Aspinall, that I wasn't too fond of. So we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, tune in next week to the scrap sheet, UFC Freedom 250, baby. We're going to the White House. We're going to see some knockouts. That's all I'm going to say. Someone's getting knocked out in front of Abraham Lincoln.
This is potentially the most watched UFC card ever.
Yep, and you can only find it on Paramount Plus. Sponsor us, please.
Sure.
All right, that'll do it for the Not Move scrap sheet. Follow me on Twitter, Scrap Sheet MMA. Give out the picks and parlays. Deuces.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.